The Sacred Heart Primary School in Dangriga is empty today. It's a very strange scene for what's to be a school day for almost 500 students. Most classrooms are locked up and the students are nowhere in sight. That's because health officials shut down the school on Wednesday because its sewerage system is a health hazard to the students and the wider community. From the outside, these restrooms look well-maintained and functional, but Principal Philippa Hewlett says they're not working and there's a bigger problem underground. It's not a new issue. It's one that started and got critical about 3 weeks ago.
As long as it's the rainy time, we always suffer with water, and the pipes would then back up and then nothing we would flush and nothing would go out. So what we normally do is our maintenance worker would come in and he would clean the pipelines, and then from there the water would then flush. But it all has to do with sea level. So, and if you notice, we're close, we're nearby. And so that has always been an issue, but I believe over time the situation was not really remedied, and so it became a little bit worse with time. And so this year, at the ending of September, we started to face the same issue. But we noticed now that it got a little bit more worse, as I said before. Now sand and so forth has been coming up inside the commodes.
And so the school attempted to remedy the situation by putting in a septic system. To do those works, the school closed down from October 3rd until the 8th. The new system worked well for a few days until late last week when the toilets stopped flushing. The rains didn't allow for more work to be done this weekend, and by Tuesday, the stench and flooding in the yard forced the children to go home.
When we came here on Tuesday, the entire area was flooded. All the tanks were underwater. Every area on that end was flooded. So there was nothing we could have done on that day. We had to send the children home. And so they came yesterday, which was Wednesday. And based on what they have seen, based on complaints given from parents, complaints given from neighbors, they came again and saw the situation and realized that it was not an healthy environment for the children to be in. And so with that, they were forced to say, close our school for us. So until we can remedy the problem and have children back in school. And so with that, I called in my manager, and then she took the lead from there.
So right now, you don't know when the children will be back in school?
I really can't say.
The hope is that it will be soon, but they will only know that after an engineer assesses the sewerage system. The Catholic school management is directly responsible for the school's facilities. And over the years, it appears that there has been gross neglect that has escalated into closed classrooms less than 2 months into the new school year.
It's very frustrating. I am so exhausted as well because for the entire 4 days, including the weekends, I have to be here with the workmen trying to figure out what's happening, because for whatever reason, so we start one area, so another situation arises.
Who's really responsible for addressing this issue?
Well, what I generally think, because we're all stakeholders in education, I believe this is something that all of us need to look into. I really wouldn't want to point fingers, but I know we fall under a management, and I know in our handbook as well that when it comes to maintenance and so forth, it falls directly under the management. So, but I know that besides that, being that it's an educational institution, the Ministry of Education and all parties, the community, the parents, everybody needs to get on board so that we can solve this problem and get our students back in.
And so while a solution is ironed out, students must remain at home except for the standard 6 students who are taking half-day lessons. Teachers are at school today, not to teach, but to try to come up with solutions.
We're not just sitting around idling. Every time the teachers assemble it, because we are trying to also see how we can project forward, even though we are not engineers, we don't have that specialty, but we're trying to see how or what plan we'll undertake upon returning to school. Yes, it becomes frustrating because parents are approaching us, the community on a whole is approaching us, but then we must pull our resources together, pull our minds together and see how best we can undertake whatever is before us.
We all know that the standardized exams are coming up, and so we're very worried about our students. So the 2 standard 6 teachers are really taking on this load, and they've been here throughout this entire situation with the students. We have them here in the morning time, and we try to push as much as we can with them. I have to be lobbying with my teachers. We have to be figuring out in terms of completion of plans, in terms of meeting expectations for our students. It is so much. And you come here with a mindset that there's so much you can do in one day, but realizing that this situation is beyond my control.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.